as far as cohesion is concerned.
All right, let's look at page 12 and 13. And Kenya is obviously and always very creative in terms of how they get things done. And this, whether you are for or against, there seems to have been a lot of creativity used in ensuring either voting takes place or does not take place, depending on where you are. And on page 12, we have leaders in Central offering free transport to attract voters. Any transport that was going to the Jubilee perceived areas were basically offered free transport to ensure that the numbers were high.
Quite clever, and I think this is actually an exercise that was that some of the pundits actually were saying this is an exercise in futility, it's desperation, and may I say that it is the right thing to do, because as much as you want to have as many as members of the community turning out to vote, it's democratic, because you're expanding that ability to ensure that more people participate in a democratic process. The moment you actually look at the other side and you do not facilitate them, assuming that they are economically capable of making it there, then I think it is something that needs to be reviewed. And in fact, in most of the democracies, developed democracies, this is something that happens quite often, where members of public are given free transport to go and exercise that democratic right, vote to ensure that they participate in a universal suffrage. And the moment you see this also happening in Kenya, perhaps some of, depending on where you are sitting, you might look it in a negative way. But me, from where I'm sitting, from an expert opinion, this is the right way to do. Because assume that person did not have some money to make it to Muranga, for instance. And here you come and you facilitate that particular person to go and vote. Then you have actually increased the democratic freedoms that people are entitled to enjoy. So that to me was okay. However, some people see it as a negative way, in the sense that I heard NASA supporters talk about Jubilee trying to ensure that they expand the numbers, or they show the turnout as big so that they can justify the 8.1 million that Uhuru Kenyatta got. But I want to say that if the numbers by Chebukati is anything to go by, the 48%, then I think it's a true reflection of the lines that we saw, especially in Central Kenya.